Well, we continue to follow our top story this morning on the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. We do want to bring in our D.C. Bureau Chief, Alex Cameron. Alex, good morning and thanks for being here.
My pleasure, Kristen. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. And I do want to start with when President Biden heard that news. We know he was in Delaware. You were saying you were also yourself in Delaware. So is he back in the White House this morning?
Yeah, he is back in D.C. right now. But when this all happened yesterday, late afternoon, the president was actually at Mass in Rehoboth Beach. It's a small community here on the Eastern Shore. And when he came out of Mass, reporters were there and asked him if he'd heard anything about what had happened with former President Trump, and he hadn't, but he was quickly briefed and then pivoted quickly and came into the center of town where there's kind of a police station / convention center, and he made some remarks there, the first public comments that he made last night, condemning the action as strongly as possible. And then it was a question of, was he going to stay here? What he's going to do? It was very foggy last night, and you can see some video we shot. The president did decide to head back to D.C., and you can see this motorcade. As this is just a short just a walk really from my house here. I can get over there and shoot the motorcade. It was just leaving town. Normally the president would fly out on Marine One, but with the fog last night, they drove to Delaware Air Force Base, where he boarded Air Force One and then flew to D.C. and was back at the White House by a little after midnight Eastern time. Haven't heard yet whether he plans to make any more remarks today, so we're watching for that. But certainly we do know that he spoke with President Trump last night, and we don't know the details of what was said, but he did publicly condemn the shooting in the strongest terms, saying there's no place for political violence in this country. Kristen?
Absolutely. Just unbelievable, that firsthand account there. I know we've seen statements coming in we have national leaders, local leaders as well. So what are you hearing, Alex, so far from our Oklahoma lawmakers up there in D.C.?
Well, of course, they're very supportive of former President Trump in general. And so, it's not surprising they've all come out and made statements, condemning the shooting, showing support for the former president. Josh Burkeen saying President Trump, even with blood on his face, is not going to stop fighting for the American people. Please join us in praying for continued providential protection for our 45th president. From Kevin Hearn, this was a reckless assassination attempt that put thousands of people in danger. Political violence of any kind should be universally condemned in the strongest terms. I ask my fellow Oklahomans to join me in lifting our nation up in prayer. So I'm sure we'll continue to hear more from our delegation in the coming days. But again, they are all showing their sympathy for those who were the families of the person who was killed, those injured, and then all the support possible for President Trump. Kristen?
Alex Cameron, thank you for your insight. As always, really appreciate you for being here this morning.